Hello, fans of Terra Mysterium. It is Valentine's Day, and so we're going to talk a little bit about intimacy and alchemy. Experiential performance is, in the context of Terra Mysterium, is when it's what known as breaking the fourth wall. So the audience is actively participating and interacting with the performers. This leads to a certain amount of, greater engagement between audience and performer and a greater spontaneity. That interaction can be challenging for both the audience and the performer because it sort of defies the expected convention where there's this sort of separation between what's going on stage and the audience, and so it can be a little bit uncomfortable when all of a sudden, this character in the show that you're watching comes up to you and asks for your opinion. But at the same time, that interaction and the fact that it's a show that is explicit in that interaction, it provides a context where it is okay to interact with the stranger, and it provides that connection, which ultimately means that each performance is unique because of that interaction, because every time the character interacts with a member of the audience, the member of the audience is going to have a slightly different reaction. And so, going back to what I've said before about art being the intersection of the vision of the artist and the perception of the audience, every single time is going to be a little bit different, and the meaning will be a little bit, it will be personal to that particular audience. Honestly, it's a little bit scary and challenging. For me especially, I kind of like to have a script, and I kind of like to have it well rehearsed, because being well rehearsed then gives me, it anchors me. And so for experiential theater, when I'm interacting with the audience, I have to sort of let go and be flexible because the audience didn't rehearse with us. They might throw something out which completely throws me off, and I have to be able to absorb it and react to it in the same manner that my character would. And so the rehearsal process needs to incorporate that sort of flexibility and getting to know my character really well, so that I can respond truthfully to whatever the audience throws at me. There's a certain power in being vulnerable at the same time that it's scary, because it allows you to be non-judgmental, which allows you to, if you're not prejudging yourself, it allows you to be more present in the moment. And if I'm present in the moment, then that allows the audience to also be present in the moment. And that spontaneity, that spontaneous interconnection, that spark is something that can emerge all on its own, which is a huge part of the alchemy and the magic of this audience interaction. And that alchemy, that chemistry between myself and not just my fellow performers, but these people who are responding in a very truthful fashion themselves, it leads to greater intimacy between performer and audience, and it makes the overall performance a lot more powerful.